welcome to my living room once more. Today's Pilates session is a little bit of focus on the lower body with a little bit of other stuff mixed in. So let's just jump in and give it a start. So we're going to start seated and we're just going to chill for a little bit. So we're just going to close down the eyes. And as always, we're just going to switch on to the body. Switching on to the breath. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In this position, just try and relax the abdomen. So we're going to access that nice deep breath. Feel the ribs expand. Focus the mind. We'll just start bringing in just a little bit of movement. So we're just going to drop one ear to the shoulder. You can keep the eyes closed if you want to. And then we're just going to roll the chin down to the chest. And then roll the neck around through to the other side. And then we're going to repeat just in your own time. Just a nice little stretch. It's amazing how much tension you can carry here. And then after this one, just bringing that head back into center. So just come to the middle and then lift the chin. Again, keep the eyes closed if you want to, or you can open them up, whatever you're comfortable with. Just let the arms relax. We're just going to roll the shoulders forward. Again, just trying to ease any tensions we have there. One more this way, and then we'll roll them back. And then backwards. All the way up and round. And then one more here. Beautiful. Coming into a nice little side bend flow. So we're just going to pop one hand down onto the mat. Big stretch, big breath up and over. And then on your exhale, slowly just going to swing through, folding over those legs around to the other side. So you can just move nice and slow, just stretching through the back as we move. Taking a breath in each side bend. And then moving through on that exhale. Coming into that side bend a little more each time. Again, a nice big full body stretch. And a nice stretch to the hips there. Let's do one more each side. And then last one. And then just coming into center. Beautiful. So because we're doing a little bit on the lower body, let's warm up into the hips a little bit. Coming onto your hands and knees. Fire hydrants. So I know a lot of the time I talk about stabilizing and stuff when we're in this position, but just let that go for now because we're just warming up into the hips a little bit. So we're just going to be on our hands and knees and we're just going to roll that leg around. So just think about that hip joint, that leg just rolling through in that hip. Like I say, just let the body move as it wants to. Just warming into the hip a little bit. You can make that circle a little bit bigger each time if you've got any more in that range of motion. One more this way, and then we'll change direction. Around the other way. And one more here. And coming back down. Coming straight onto the other side. Rolling through. Just increasing that range of motion as we go. One more this way, and we'll change direction. And swing it the other way. last little bit of the warm up, coming into a little stretch here. So we're just going to come into our bottom range of our squat. So heels down on the floor, knees nice and wide, popping the hands down on the floor. So we're just going to transition between this and our forward fold, stretching into the hips as we're here, and then the hamstrings as we forward fold. So you can use the elbows here as well, just to push those knees out a little bit. Taking a breath here. And then on the exhale, just lifting those hips, dropping the head into the forward fold, a little stretch into the hamstrings, and then again, just taking a breath. So we're just going to move between the two in our own time. Just a couple of times, just to stretch into the legs a little bit. Lovely, 2 more. Let's make this our last one. And back down. Beautiful. Let's get started. So, starting off in a plank. What a way to start. We're going to start with our plank rotations. So we're just going to take our hands slightly further forward, tuck the toes behind us here, lifting up into that plank position, weight forward. So plant one hand down onto the mat, pivoting on the feet, stretching up towards the sky, and then through. So switching onto the core here, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Nice big stretch, nice big reach. One more each way. On that last one, we're going to stay here. We're going to drop down to our knee, coming into our little half plank, making sure that the wrist is directly underneath the shoulder, and coming into some leg lifts. So draw the belly button in, staying strong here, staying lifted. Just going to lift and lower that leg. So staying tight in the core. Switching onto this hip a little bit here, but also the glute in this supporting leg. Should feel a little bit of action. Keep drawing in here. 4 more. 4. 3. 2. And last one. On that last one, we're just going to keep that leg at about hip height. We're going to swing it forward. Flex the foot, swing it back. Draw that belly in. Use the abs to help you swing that leg forward as much as you can. Bring that arm down if you need to, remember. Otherwise you're reaching up towards the sky. Use the abs. Trying to swing that leg around as much as we can. Last one. Beautiful. Little rest off, a little shake. Coming straight onto the other side, or if you're like me, you might have to just scooch around. I'm going to ask you to come back into that plank just to get that position right. So just take your hands slightly further forward, into the plank, into that rotation that we were just in. Drop down to the knee. And then from here, nice and open in the chest, draw the belly button in, lift. Nice and tight in the core. Trying to lift that leg as much as we can each time. Nice work, guys, you got it. Here we go, 4 more. That's 2. And last one, keep drawing that belly button in. Hover that leg, hip height. Switch on that core a bit more, swing it forward, flex the foot, swing it back, bring that arm down if you need to. You work to wherever you can. If you need to as well, you can come right down to that sideline position and do that from here. I know this is harder. After this one, 2 more. Keep drawing in at the core. Stay with it, guys. Have you got any more for this last one? Swing it forward and back and down. Beautiful. And all the way down into our child's pose. Take a quick stretch here. A quick breath. Beautiful. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come all the way down onto the front. Working on the posterior. So this one we're going to do a little bit of a mishmash of upper body and lower body. So it's going to be part back extension, part leg lift. So back extension is this. Today we're going to do it with our hands just behind the head. We're not kind of resting on the head, they're just there. They're just there. So if you need to as well, remember you can come into cactus pose, keep them on the floor, or you can lift them here. It is just slightly harder with them at the ears. Just bear that in mind. So we start with our head down on the mat, draw the belly button in here, take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, which is lifting, and then we lower. Remember, tucking the chin, neck nice and long, switching onto the back, relax the legs, yeah? Switching onto the core as well. Lots to think about here. Deep breath in, exhale, lift. So super important about the neck, don't be looking up here, looking down to the mat, and then slowly down. Focus on that slow lower down. Let's just do a few more of these just to get ourselves comfortable with it. Down. 2 more. Seeing if we can lift a little bit higher this time. Lift, engaging those back muscles, think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. Down. Last one. Beautiful. So remember, arms can be here as well. Second part of that movement is our leg lift. So, working from the glutes. After we've done our back extension, we'll come down, we'll rest the head down, switching onto the lower body. So again, keeping that core switched on, squeeze the bum before we do anything. Give that bum a big old squeeze, point the toes, lift the legs, and lower them down. Now, don't mind where you want to keep your legs. You can keep them narrow, or if you want to, you can widen them a little bit. Sometimes a little bit easier to lift them in that wider position. Just target a little bit of a different area in the glute. Give it a try, switch it up, I don't mind. So, start with that back extension. Big breath in. Draw the belly button in, exhale. Big lift up, relax the lower body. Keep the core switched on, slowly down. Take a breath here. Point the toes, squeeze the bum, lift, and lower. And then top off. Nice work, guys. Should feel a nice bit of action in that lower back in both parts of this movement, and that's good. You want to switch onto that lower back, you want to strengthen it as long as it's not painful. If it is painful, lower that range of motion and make sure you're always switching onto the core. Let's see if we can lift a little higher now. Slowly down. Like I say, switch it up with the legs a little bit if you want to. Try keeping them super narrow. Squeeze the inner thigh as well. And lift. Just feel that difference. Give you a little clue as to where you might have a little weakness or strength. One more each way. lifting yourself back up onto your knees. Straight into some more lower body work. Staying with that leg raise, but in a slightly different position this time. So, unlike the fire hydrants, this time it's all going to stabilise, yeah? Switching onto this core in all of these movements. So, on our hands and knees, back nice and long, nice and straight. Again, nice and long in the neck. We're just going to extend one leg. So we're going to do all of this on one side and then we'll switch. Extend one leg, point your toe, switch onto the glute, and we're just going to kick and down. So what I don't want to see is that arching in the back to get that leg up there, yeah? We're not being pretty dancers, it's not what's happening. We're getting strong. So draw the belly button in, point your toe. No offense to pretty dancers, by the way. Feel that glute switching on, just lifting and lowering, nice and slow. Keep that belly button drawn up towards the spine, keep that stabilization. You're going to need it as we progress. Pushing into the floor with the hands. 4 more here. And last one. After that last one, staying on the same side, we're going to bend the knee, flex the foot. Yes, we're going to lift it to hip height, draw the belly button in, stabilize, and we're going to lift and down. Lift and down. So we're just lifting that heel up towards the sky, keep that foot flexed. Exactly the same in the rest of the body. Big squeeze of the bum, you might feel it a little bit more. Beautiful, stay at it. 4 more, 4, 3. Drawing that belly button in, 2, and 1. Bring that knee down, staying on that side with that bent knee. Stabilization is super important here. We're going to lift out to the side and down. Out to the side and down. Trying to lift as high as we can. 4 more. 4, 3. Almost there. 2. And 1. And down. Take a little rest off. You're going to do it on the other side. You might have already felt just that little bit of fire on that opposite glute, just from that stabilization. I'm going to scooch around to this side. Starting with those leg lifts. Back onto the hands and knees. Draw the belly button in, extend that other leg away. Here we go. Lift and lower. Keep pushing into the floor with the hands, nice and long in the spine. Make sure there's no movement happening in that spine. More. 'After your last one, I'm going to bend that knee, flex the foot, draw the belly button in that a little bit more. Stabilization. 4 more. 2 and 1. And then bring that knee down. Keep that knee bent. Up and down. Draw the belly button in. Trying to lift as high as we can, maintaining that nice strong posture. 4 more here. 3. Last 2. And last 1. down. Come all the way onto the back. And just give your knees a little hug in. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Beautiful. We're going to just give the lower body a rest just for a min while we do some core work. So staying on the back, bringing those knees into tabletop, drawing the belly button in. So before we do anything, we hollow in at the belly, knees above the hips, arms extended up towards the sky, and then we're just going to move opposite arm to leg. So we're going to extend away, draw the belly button in, and then back to center. Nice big breath as we move. Big breath in, and then exhale to move. Switching onto those deep core muscles, just moving nice and slow. These guys keep hollowing in. Stretch right to the fingertips, right to the toes. We're going to go 2 more each side, and then we're going to change it up. One more each way. Last one. Keep your knees in tabletop. This time hands are going to come behind the head. So your head's just going to sit back into the hands here. Coming into our bicycles. Same movement, just adding a little oblique crunch into the mix. Draw the elbow to the knee and then slowly, smoothly switch. So we're not rushing it, we're not going hell for leather. Just nice and slow. Drawing the belly button in. Guys, keep trying to reach that knee with the elbow. Two more each way. This last one, we're going to stay in that position. We're going to hold here, draw the knee in and extend away, staying in that little oblique crunch. Keep reaching for the knee with the elbow, keep drawing in at the belly button. 4 more, 4, 3, 2. Last one. After your last one, you're going to switch straight to the other side. Switch. Crunch in. Extend away. Keep drawing in. We're nearly there. 4 more here. Stay lifted. Last 2. Last one. Ooh, have a little rest. Nice. Last little bit on the lower body. We're going to come into a bridge. We'll just do a few rounds of our normal bridge and then we're going to add on. So, bring the hips a little bit closer to the heels, a little bit closer to the hips is what I was trying to say. I'm doing well. So you should just be able to touch the back of the heels with the fingertips. Your feet want to be in line with the knees and your hips. And then we'll begin with a little tilt of the pelvis. So we just tilt that pelvis under, draw the belly button in here, and let that movement, squeeze the glutes, lead us up into that nice high bridge, up onto the shoulder blades, and then we move back down. So we're switching onto the core, we're using the glutes, and we're moving nice and smoothly through that spine. So each little vertebrae is just going to imprint back down. It's going to feel real nice. And then it's going to lift the same. So a little tilt and up. So we'll just do one more of these after this one. And then we'll add on just something a little bit tastier. Squeezing the bum, keep that belly button in. Lift maybe a little bit higher. And down. And then we're going to come up into that bridge once more. So taking a breath at the bottom. Lifting up. Nice and high. We're going to ground down into a supporting leg. I don't mind which one you start on. And we're going to extend the other one. Point it up towards the sky. Squeeze the bum, keep those hips high. You can also do this in a bent knee if you want to. Switching onto the core a little bit more. I'm going to take the leg out to the side, into center. Stabilization again. Squeeze the bum. Try and stay steady. Just a little movement. Doesn't have to be a big movement. 4 more. 4. Stay there. Keep lifting. 3. 2. And 1. Bring that leg down. Come all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to do all that on the other side. Remember, bend that knee if that's a bit much. If the whole thing's a bit much, just stick with that bridge. Just come up and down into that bridge. Just reset that position. If you're in a good place to start. Take a breath. Tilt the pelvis, roll it up, squeeze in the bum. Belly button to spine. Grounding down into that other leg. Take it out. And in. Start small. And then if you feel brave, take it a little bit further. Just go to wherever you're comfortable. Keep lifting here. 4 more. Stay with it. Last 2. Last 1. Leg down. All the way down to the bottom. We're going to do that again each way. Yay! Nearly done, folks. Finish this one off and then we've got one more thing to do. Breath. Roll it up. Squeezing that bum. Keep lifting those hips nice and high. Really challenge that distance here. Squeezing the bum. Ground it down into that foot. Here we go. Just move slow. Make sure we're switching onto the core. Keep squeezing. 4 more. Nearly there. Lifting, last 2. All the way down to the bottom, ready for our last little bridge, Yaruni. Reset that position if we need to. Take a breath. Up we go. Last one. Lifting nice and high. Ground down into that leg. Here we go. 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. And then drop it down. All the way down to the bottom. When you're there, hook those knees in. Ooh. Nice So as promised, we've got one last thing to do, and it's one of my faves, so we're going to finish on a high. We've got two options actually. So we're going to come up to seated. We're going to come into a rolling like a ball. If you have any problems with your spine, any back problems, don't do it. I'm going to give you an alternative. So, in fact, I'll start with the alternative because it kind of leads into it. Alternative is we're going to work on our C curve. Arms extended away, we start nice and tall. Again, we start with a little tilt of the pelvis. The pelvis tilts under, we draw the belly button in. Keep curving through the spine, we hollow in, curve, curve, curve. Come down to the bottom, we feel that little biting point. Draw in a bit more, and then come back up. So that's our C curve. If you want to just practice that one, all good. Otherwise, we're going to come into rolling like a ball. So that position, that position that we're just in there, leads us into our rolling like a ball because we want to be in a nice curved position and we want to switch on to the abs. Yeah? So, find that position first. We're going to keep the hands underneath the knees. We're going to curve in. And then we're going to come up onto the toes. We're going to find our balance here. I'm going to make sure I've got enough space. Super important to find that core connection here and to keep a hold of it. So we want to keep this position and we want to keep switching onto the core. So draw the belly button in, curve it in, we're going to roll back and up. And then this is a trick, not to just swing and have loads of fun. I mean, we're having loads of fun, I know. But you've got to control it with the abs, yeah? Use that momentum a little bit and then build that ab connection in if you need to. But if you get it straight away, you'll keep a hold of it, yeah? Try not to lose it at the back. So swing back. In that point where we're at the back, don't let it go. Don't let it go down here, because you get stuck, yeah? Keep that connection. Hollow in. And then up. Yeah, give it a try. If you're feeling brave, you can take those arms away as well. Use the abs to control it back. Keep that curve. Super important to keep the curve as well, so you move smoothly through that spine. Nice, guys. Wherever you are, 4 more, whether you're here or here. Keep controlling it. Last 2. And last one. And if you do it right, your abs should definitely have felt that one. Woo! Let's stretch. Come all the way down onto the back, just a quick little stretch. Just draw one knee in nice and close, extend the other one away. And then just taking that across the body. Nice stretch here. So keeping both shoulders in connection with the floor here. Just trying to ease this knee down towards the floor. Nice stretch through the spine. Nice deep breaths, just relax into that stretch. And then back through to center. Onto the other side. Remember, as always, you can stay in any of these stretches just a little bit longer. If you want to take it across the body, shoulder in connection with the floor, remember just ease that leg down, just let it go to wherever it wants to go. As you relax, it will creep down. Center. Popping one foot onto the opposite knee, coming into our glute stretch, lifting the legs and either grabbing the back of the thigh or the front of the shin, depending on what's comfortable for you. And we're thinking about drawing this foot close to the body and this knee away from the body. So it's in this movement here. And again, just take some deep breaths. Relax into that stretch a little bit. This is the nice part. You've done all the hard parts. So enjoy your stretch. Let go of that bottom leg, extend the bottom leg away, top leg we're going to stretch up towards the sky and just grab a hold of the back of the leg wherever you can. That might be behind the thigh, you might be able to reach up for the ankle. And drawing that leg a little bit closer, so keeping it nice and long, stretching into the hamstring, and then we're just going to point the toes and flex the foot. I'm just going to switch between the two. Point the toe, flex the foot. Down, coming onto the other side, that foot up on the knee, and lifting it up into that glute stretch, drawing the foot nice and close, drawing the knee away. Deep breath here. Extend that bottom leg away, extend the top leg up towards the sky, leg nice and long, point the toe when you're ready and flex the foot. Front, just pushing up onto your knees, coming into a squat once more. Just take a little squat stretch at the bottom before we transition to standing. So keeping those heels down, just nice and lifted, just drawing the knees away. Remember, if you need to lift a little bit higher into this, you can. Just push the knees away with the elbows for a few breaths. I'm just going to drop the hands to the floor, and then we're going to lift the hips and drop the head into our forward fold. Just take a moment here, do whatever feels good, maybe give the shoulders a wiggle, head a nod, and then one little extra stretch into the hamstrings just by drawing the body a little bit further forward. Taking a nice big breath. Exhale, bending in the knees, and we're going to roll slowly up through the spine, keeping the head and the shoulders heavy until we come all the way back up to standing. Oh, standing nice and tall. And then taking some nice big deep breaths to finish. Hands in prayer pause. We're going to take a big breath in and stretch up. And exhale. And through. And again. Last one. And all the way down. And give yourself a clap. Thank you for joining me, whether this is your first one or whether you've done them all. Well done, congratulations, hope you feel good, and join me for the next one.